share screens here so that it will be recorded for you in case you need it, okay? So then really there won't be any excuse, whether you're here or not, you should have this video for you. All right. Meiosis questions, number 1. Excuse me. What is the main purpose of the process of meiosis? I saw a few different ideas, but what is the main purpose of the process of meiosis? So if you have another tab open, it's possible you put in purpose of meiosis, right? It drives me crazy when that thing is there. All right, so you might have just said purpose of meiosis. Because I saw all of these answers. It's pretty much the only thing I saw. So it produces sex cells. Its goal is to make daughter cells with half as many chromosomes as a starting cell. Activation of the genetic information and deactivation of the sporophytic information. So if you said that, I would probably quiz you and ask you what all those words meant, right? Some of you use some really big words, which were very obvious. They weren't obvious. All right. Here's a big part of the purpose. Crossing over resulting from meiosis induces new combinations of traits and variation. Why is that important? Why is that important? I'm just clicking on a few different things that look like good sites, right? We're not going to use Wikipedia. We're going to look at things that look reputable. And this has AP guides and SAT stuff. So I feel like, you know. All right. So the word meiosis originates from the Greek language and it means to lessen, which makes sense, right? Because we're lessening the number of chromosomes. In meiosis, a double set of chromosomes is reduced to a single set to produce germ cells or spores. So then the zygote becomes diploid when we have 2 of those cells combining. So it comes down to chromosome numbers. If a human has 46 or 2 pairs of 23 chromosomes were to produce without chromosomal reduction, the egg and sperm cell would both have 46 chromosomes, and when they would fuse, we would end up having 92, which would be double what would be necessary. So that would result in genetic abnormalities. So if we didn't have meiosis, what would happen? Good, we'd all be genetically abnormal. If we had a bunch of genetically abnormal people, could our species survive? No, we would die. We would continuously create more and more abnormalities until we could no longer exist, until we had no survival. We had no way of living. So try those things. Let me pause that recording. We're answering the question. Let's look at the question. I hate that the thing is in my way. That's what I'm saying. Here we go. What is the main purpose of the process of meiosis? So first of all, it needs to be a complete sentence. Dang it. So I would start here. Watch what I would do. Oh, look, I can just like copy. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Too much, right? So I could do this. Control C, Control V, Control C copies, Control V pastes. So the main purpose of the process of meiosis is to what?
To produce sex cells.
To produce sex cells. To reduce the number of chromosomes, right? We have to reduce the number of chromosomes. So that's the main purpose. But then there's another part. Make sure you're getting that in there. So the main purpose of the process of meiosis is to reduce the number of chromosomes in the sex cells. All right, so do we have the first part of question 1?
Yeah, we do.
Hopefully, right? Essentially,
I do.
I'm holding the spoon. All you need to do is open your mouth right now and put forth a tad bit of effort to get it on your document. Second part, why is it important? Why is reducing the number of chromosomes important? What did we just read about?
We would all be genetically
Abnormal, right? It produces variation to help in our chances of survival, right? And B, it keeps us normal, as normal can be genetically. There's still going to be abnormalities, right? Things happen with our genes that cause issues, for sure. So we'll be talking about some of those things. But the main reason why it's important, so the main purpose of the process of meiosis is to reduce the number of chromosomes in order for, so here's your explaining why it's important, us to not be genetically abnormal. So our chances of surviving are greater, right? So put one finger up when you have number 1 totally complete. You've answered both parts of it. Just don't choose the wrong finger, please.
You. I'm trying to play my game now. Stop.
Give you a minute or two. It really doesn't help the rest of the people finish.
That's what I'm saying.
So Isaac, you can either choose to be in meiosis or you can be written up and go. Right now I'm trying to be helpful. So I'm looking for fingers to be up if you've got number 1 done, and I'm sitting here waiting for you, and I look over and you're just playing some game. Super unhelpful. All right. Anybody still need a minute for number 1? Just raise your hand real quick. Put your hand down if you're doing it. All right. Just 1 more minute. We're almost there. Okay. All right. Are we clear about number 1? We answered the first question. We explained why it's important. We're okay? Yes, yes, yes. All right. 2, what is the phase where a cell spends most of its life? What happens during that phase? Well, did a lot of you say interphase? Because we in our I think we talked about it, in fact, in our cell packet, right? Thank you, dear. Do you have your Chromebook? Oh, gotcha. Yep, that is your seat. Right there. All right. So we think we're looking at interphase, right? We're not looking at heredity yet. We're talking about meiosis. I'm not even sure. You put a whole bunch of stuff down?
I wrote a lot. You found on Google reline.
There isn't even an I.
Your answer is wrong, and it has 90% of the words you don't even know.
A cell spends most of the time in what is called.
I'm gonna from Wikipedia.
I actually got it straight from the Google definition. If you search up
90%
the definition,
of the time that's Wikipedia.
that's not Wiki, it's Google. I got it off Yahoo. .com. Yahoo. Yeah.
Sciencing?
What is science?
Come on, guys, let's science it. Open up your Chromebook. We're going over the assessment. There's mitosis and meiosis.
Meiosis.
Meiosis. Or mitosis.
We're going to focus on meiosis interphase.
Oh my God. Mitosis.
Not your toes.
Oh.
All right, so we're answering the question. What's the question?
What is mitosis?
What part of meiosis?
Mitosis.
Not mitosis. What is the question? Somebody.
What phase?
What phase where the cells spend most of their life? What happens during this phase?
Okay, so what phase does the cell spend the most?
Question mark. What happened during that phase? Question mark.
Is that really needed, Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Thank you. Right here. Look at this. Biology flashcards on Quizlet. Have you guys ever used Quizlet? Have you ever made your own study set? Okay, this is not what I wanted. Did you see it? Well, it makes sense if they're there. This would be a good Quizlet to assign to you.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah, we do.
But you would be learning. I don't see it here, my dears.
He's so useless.
Yeah.
Doesn't even tell us where to go.
Very, very.
You guys are very aggressive today.
We're very helpful.
Yes. Very.
All right, so we do know that the answer is interphase. So we need to figure out what occurs during interphase. All right, here you go. That's it. The cell copies DNA, grows, and carries out its normal functions. So really, you only need to worry about. Remember, we talked about the three things when we were doing our notes for the cell packet?
Yes, I got it wrong.
I got it right. I probably should have it right before.
I did too.
I was like, I know this all.
Sorry.
So in your packet, it talks about this question already. Which phase does growth, copying DNA, and preparations for division happen? So during interphase, the cell grows, copies the DNA, and prepares for division, right? We have those things.
Yeah, I looked at that from the answer.
Which one's longest? They'll take it. You can pick it up in the office at the end of the day. Notice all my self-control, not to throw it on the ground. Alright. So, number 2, there's 2 parts as well, right?
Heck yeah, brother.
The cell spends most of its time in interphase, during which it grows, copies its DNA, and prepares for division. Never thought you'd have to be a wordsmith in science, but it's important, right? The more we read, the more we write, the better we get. So that is number 2 in your assessment. When 2 is done, put up 2 fingers so I know we can move on. Be sure you're answering that in the assessment. Start here. So, a cell spends most of its life. Can you copy and paste?
We're gonna have a Saturday.
Cell spends most of its life in interphase.
Fingers up, Trevor.
I live here.
All right, thank you to those of you who are working on it. Do not get distracted, Rhiannon. Come on. Anybody need another minute for number 2?
Good.
So far, so good.
I might need a little minute.
Okay, we'll give Andrew a minute.
Mr. Bailey, I'm gonna get sleep.
I think you're not gonna need a drink of that personally. You've got one drink, you're in there. That's the water.
Can you guys not be so weird, please?
That's Andrew.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of an oxymoron.
There's a ton of the hallway.
Quickly. All right, number 3. We're moving on without you.
That's exactly it.
In prophase 1, the cell prepares itself for the meiosis process. In the next step, though, there is some action that occurs. So what is the name of the next step after prophase 1? So we're talking about metaphase. Is that what you said? Metaphase 2? So the next, you could copy and paste starting right here. The next step after prophase 1, guys, it's really unhelpful. Let's go. The next step after prophase 1 is metaphase 2. The next part that I told you to answer was what happens during that step. So what happens during metaphase 2? Look it up. Try it out. I'm not going to do this one for you. I'm just walking you through what I'm expecting. So the next step after prophase 1 is metaphase 2. During metaphase 2, I
can't read this word.
chromosomes, centromeres. Homologous.
Oh, wait. Is that how I say it?
What are you doing that, Trevor?
When we've got those 2 parts of 3 down, I need 3 fingers so we can move on. We're good? Isaac, how you doing, bud? Yes.
What's a little less? What's the difference, Amanda?
Like a straight line or like a big spread out?
I like the big spread out ones better.
Like with an orange.
Yeah, like the like, and it gets everywhere. Or you got the one like a straight line, like that one that he grabs on the building. What was that? And then the one that he like gets the bad guys.
In cytokinesis 1,
You wanna
it splits into 2 cells completely. How many chromosomes do these 2 cells have? And are the chromosomes identical or different?
We're on 4, right?
We're on 4.
Okay, that's fine. Sure. I put an answer now.
So, like, even if you weren't sure what to put into the search bar, essentially, if you needed to, you could do a little something like, copy the question, paste into the search bar. All right, During telophase 1, the chromosomes are enclosed in nuclei. The cell now undergoes a process called cytokinesis that divides the cytoplasm of the original cell into 2 daughter cells. Each daughter cell is haploid and has only one set of chromosomes, or half the total number of chromosomes of the original cell. So, we don't really know that they're talking about humans, right?
You're talking about squirrels.
They could, I suppose.
Or chickens.
But we do know that whatever the total number of chromosomes of that particular species was, we have how much of them? Half.
Half.
So is that fair? Can we say that? How many do they have? They have half the total of number, half the total from the original, or half the original number of chromosomes.
Is that what we put?
How many chromosomes do these 2 cells have? They have half of the original number of chromosomes.
Oh, I know.
And then we have to figure out are they identical or different?
Oh my god.
Well, knowing what you know about the process of meiosis, are we like swapping DNA, or are we just copying and splitting?
Got you.
We're just copying and splitting. So if we're just copying and splitting, does the DNA change in some form?
No.
No. So are they identical or
No.
different?
They're identical.
They're identical.
Do it.
Is that what you said?
That's my exact word.
Sometimes I question myself, like, that reasoning makes sense, but now I'm like, is that really true? We're talking about telophase 1.
I definitely saw that.
So we could double check, right?
The last like 3 of them, they went through it so fast. We were going so fast. It was so hard.
Andrew, did Daniel shave his head?
Yes.
He said,
All right, guys, focus here. So we're talking about telophase.
My bad. My single good. Huh? That's a movie I commercial. You're not eating it, it's going crazy. Yeah.
All right, so we're not worried about telophase and mitosis. All right, I think that's fair. Are we good on number 4?
Huh?
4? Okay, this is an answer that I got. Homologous chromosomes pair and form synapses, a step unique to meiosis. The paired chromosomes are called bivalents in the formation of chiasmata. Do any of you know those terms? No. So this is why I was kind of face palming. Are you guys enjoying this progressive commercial?
I love progressive.
Okay. Let's look back at our next question. All right, anybody still need a minute for number 4? Do we feel like we've answered both parts?
4.
We're good on 4?
Yeah, I did 4. 4 parts.
All right, this part I'm not going to give you because it's right in your images. No, it starts.
I just put that thing.
Yeah, be
You can tell
careful.
us what letter it starts with. Everyone.
Oh,
You're not giving us the answers, those technically not against Michigan rules.
Michigan rules.
I'm pretty sure that has to be the rule, not giving answers. Not
So
exactly.
try these out. Remember, I would search meiosis in a cell or meiosis phases
That's what I Googled.
and look at
Google is
images.
pointless.
Here, try labeled meiosis phases. See what comes up. Meiosis, not mitosis. I'm trying to look and see. Oh, this looks pretty good.
That's a good picture. We use that right now.
All right, so I realized that they're a little different. Maybe your chromosomes are turned to the side or something, but
That was telephone too. I was trying to. Number 7 and number 7.
some of these are a little different for sure. Let me see if I can find something that looks more like yours. I feel like this one's best.
It doesn't say it though.
Yes, it does. Above it, look. See, this is interphase. This is prophase. Oh, that's too much. This is metaphase, anaphase, telophase 1. And then it goes to interkinesis, prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2, and cytokinesis. Notice in telophase 1 here, your chromosomes look pretty identical.
Yeah, seriously, what is number 8? Right there. I think we can number 8 is number 2.
Number 8 looks like one of the choices on the bottom of this.
What's number 1?
It looks like they're not in the middle. They're being pulled apart for
What
sure.
about number 1?
Don't you think?
Can't find number 1. Like people trying to grab.
It's metaphase 2.
Number 9 looks like one on the top where they're all lined up.
Where's number 5? What is that?
Actually, I think I'm looking at different numbers than you because this person put in a bunch of numbers. So
Number 6 is 1.
one of them looks like this. One of them looks like this where it's lined up, but you're right, it's turned.
It's turned over.
And one of them looks like this. And one of them looks like this. Now that I've given you every single answer, are we ready to move?
No. Number 6.
No.
No.
No, it's 1. What do you mean? But they're different pictures. Oh, crap, I noticed it now.
Look, this one, see how this one is 4 X's. It's the top middle one, it's just turned over.
I'm talking about number 5.
There's 5 for me to pull it apart.
I know.
And metaphase 1 doesn't, or metaphase 2 doesn't look like they're still in the middle.
Can't find the first. I can't do it. What's number 5?
Anybody need help on those phases, labeling them?
They're all the way off. He sat next to Trevor.
It was big.
It's not Daniel. Anything else?
All right. When You're through 8. Give me 8 fingers and we'll move on.
I got 8. 5. Yeah, I do have 8 fingers.
Can you not be weird, please? That's disturbing.
Wait, my ring fingers. Logan.
Logan, not even here.
Logan who?
I don't know.
Wait, what?
He was just like,
Now we need to explain how the daughter cells in meiosis 2 are different from the daughter cells in meiosis 1. Give this a try.
I did.
Be sure you said the daughter cells in meiosis 2 are different than those in meiosis 1 because
The daughter. I can't read that. Wait.
well, we could just look at these stages, right?
Yeah, can you like say what you said the first time? Wait, what's
Here, meiosis 1 is on top here. Meiosis 2 is on the bottom here, this blue section, right? So how are they different? Let's make some observations from that chart and it would be more than enough.
I don't know.
I don't know, it's never best to be in kind of absolute.
So notice here we have the same number of chromosomes in all the cells. And all of a sudden, we only have So talk about daughter cells. Same number or half? Got a lot going on here all at once.
Where are we at?
Yeah, I get it automatically.
Where are we at?
I think this is number 5.
Oh, yeah, you missed it.
No! What the heck? The thing I gotta say.
All right, we got 10 minutes.
To do whatever we want.
No. Nice try, nice try. All right,
7 minutes.
here is the culminating question. How is meiosis different than mitosis? Remember, mitosis helps regenerate cells, but meiosis is different.
Yeah, what involves toes?
What is meiosis for? Look at all these questions. What is different about the results of mitosis and meiosis? Explain with examples and use the space below to draw a diagram. So I think it would be, you could use a Venn diagram. You could even look up Venn diagram about meiosis and mitosis, right? You could use 2 charts, 2 tables, 2 columns. Yes, Andrew.
I answered it right. Right?
You're sure?
I'm sure.
So you,
'Cause I read it over.
so this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like
I have
6
5 different sentences.
or 7 point question.
Oh,
So
fiddlestickle.
definitely go through these questions, make sure they're being answered. 2 tables, a diagram, something that talks about how they're different. What's different about their results?
Oh.
What's different about their purpose? What are some examples of each and what they're used for in the human body? Or different animal, I don't know. Okay, so take some time on that one. There is no talking. I know you guys did a lot better today, being led one question at a time as far as staying on task, but we have to get to the point that we're able to work independently, right?
Daniel just so disruptive.
Speak. All right, so turn your voices off. We're answering this kind of 7-part thing. A table, a diagram, something helpful, Andrew, not just tapping our pencils. All right, do this. You've got till the end of the hour. Hopefully that process has walked you through.
No, it's not even.